Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigval here, and welcome back to another video. So I've had Batwoman who rounds for a few days now. I got to play with her and see how she works, how well she buffs Battle laughs, and I'm going to finally draw some conclusions to this in a review in which I'm going to also let you guys know if you should rush to get this character, or if it's a character that's bad, or if it's a character that's good to have but not rush towards getting. And let me get the bright side of the things out of the way first. She is a good character, most likely will become a far better character in the future because of the almost certain addition of more dark metal characters. At the same time, most likely she will get some fixes, most likely to the problems that I'm going to get into. But overall, she's a good character. She's got a passive that's going to buff the damage of the dark metal characters, and buffing damage is basically the best thing that you can do. She's going to also have the ability to generate crisis energy herself, being able to reach final form using her as a combo builder for Battle Laughs. She's going to be able to heal with a special too. With a super move, is going to also increase the damage of the Dark Metal teammates. Overall, it's a very solid character that's most likely going to be used in. It's right now used in the Battle Laughs team, but right now only if you have the Beta Club. Might be worth using with Brainiac and Battle Laughs even without Beta Club, depending on how strong your Battle Laughs is, but that's a talk for another day, and as I said, she will become better as we get more Dark Metal characters introduced. So overall, the character concept, the character idea, and the things that she brings to the team are good. But the execution is terrible and her gameplay is frustrating because of a few reasons. So, first up, I mean, this is not the biggest problem, but they did this with so many characters to the point where I'm like, why? Why do you keep doing this? Don't you just playtest the character and see how the third special works and it doesn't stagger the enemy enough? I think this was even in the gameplay trailer that they had for her. The third special is going to have an animation that staggers her more than the enemy, and the enemy is going to be like, oopsie, I got hit, I'm gonna hit you back, and she's gonna be like, wait, I didn't even finish my animation. The enemy is gonna be like, I don't care, I get a free hit in there. Why do I keep getting this problem? Why don't you understand? It's a simple concept. The enemy needs to be staggered more than my animation of the special lasts for me to be able to do it. The special one doesn't do anything, and it doesn't have to, but a good character design is going to be when you're going to have characters that are going to have a reason to use all of the specials. For example, Raven. With Raven, I'm going to spam the special one in most scenarios, but there is reasons to use the other specials as well. I'm gonna use special 2 if the enemy is far away, and also has guaranteed crits. I'm gonna use the third special if I want the shield to not get hit by specials. Even though I'm mainly going to use one special, I do have a reason to use the other specials. For her, I don't have any reason to use her special one. And again, that's not the biggest thing in the world, like the worst thing in the world, but at the same time, it's bad character design to make an ability that does nothing. Like, if you were to remove the first ability, the special one, then she would be the same character. She would literally lose nothing, and that's just bad design in that regard. But yeah, that's kind of the smallest of the problems that she has. The biggest problem that she has is going to be the hazard that puts the whole map underwater, more specifically. And that's in theory a very cool mechanic. I was excited when I saw it in the gameplay trailer. And even though it doesn't do that much, because yes, it looks cool, but it doesn't do that much. It's going to inflict some dot on the enemy based on her attack, and that dot value is not going to be that high. And that's kind of the only thing that it does for the most part. And it's going to revive dark metal characters. Yeah. That's a pretty major thing to mention. But my Dark Metal characters don't usually die, especially in Raids and Soul Raids, because I'm careful, so that's going to be very rarely used. I'm glad that it's there, but most of the times we're going to have just the dot damage of the passive. Keep in mind, you can't turn this off, because as soon as you enter Dark Form with one character, all of them are going to enter it, and in theory, yet again, that would be a cool mechanic. But in practice, I'd rather not have that hazard, and I'm forced to have it each time I want to deal percentage health damage on Battle Laughs. But why wouldn't I want to have that hazard on the map? You might wonder, because it's going to be, at the end of the day, just some additional dot damage. You get it for free, you do it anyway to get Battle Laughs into final form. It's a terrible experience. So first of all, it's going to randomly lag. It doesn't lag every single time, I'm not sure what triggers it, but sometimes as soon as the water flows the screen, it's going to be crazy laggy no matter how good of a device you had, no matter how smoothly it played previously, to the point where it makes the fight unplayable. And that's just not the chance you want to take, really. That's just frustrating, and the fact that it happens randomly, you can't even know for a fact, because if it would happen every single time on some devices, not happen every single time on other devices, or happen every single time on all devices, we just don't use care until it's fixed, but it's something that's random, and hits you when you least expect it. And the worst thing about it is that even if it doesn't lag, it's still going to be something that you don't want to have. Because as you fill the map with a hazard, the enemy opponent is going to be like, oh, damn, I'm in a hazard. I might as well jump out of it. It's the whole map, bro. Where are you going to jump to? So this is going to trigger into the enemy a gameplay where they permanently jump. And that's bad. You don't want the enemies jumping, because while they're jumping, you can't combo interrupt. And at the same time, after a jump, most characters are the most likely to use a special. So having that active actually heavily hinders your gameplay. And when I'm playing Battle Laughs, I'm going to go into final form to get my percentage hell damage, and then I'm going to go out of my way to never enter final form again, because I don't want to trigger that hazard, because it's badly designed. It simply seems like somebody had a cool idea, and it was a cool idea. It is a cool idea on paper. I do like it. But they have no idea how the game functions. They just don't know how the game functions. Who tested this? Why don't we have a beta version of Injustice Mobile where some people get early access to test stuff? Because pretty much every player would have told you, that's not normal. I don't want my opponent to keep spamming jump attacks. If that's the only thing I'm getting for some dot damage per second, which is a low value, I'd rather not have that. Fix it. So they managed to turn a mechanic that looked fun, looks cool, is interesting, doesn't take too much because you trigger final form on all characters, so it's just something that you're going to have there anyway, in something that you have to actively try to avoid. And I hate when they do this, because it seems like they just don't play the game themselves for the most part. And at the same time, I still have another thing that I want to mention. Why did you nerf Battle Laughs? Like, chill, they didn't nerf him now. They nerfed him in the past. So in the past on release, Battle Laughs had a synergy with the Beta Club, where he was able to do lots of dot damage, because the dot damage of the Beta Club was scaling with the percentage health damage on basic attack hits. And that was only with Beta Club. That was only something that would benefit the pay-to-win, let's say, players. It's not something broken that you give everybody access to. It was just something that was benefiting the pay-to-win players, and it was something that might have made you money, because people were like, oh, I might as well try to get myself a Beta Club to deal that amounts of dot damage. But you nerfed it, because it was not working as intended. Who cares if people like leave it in there? But yeah, they nerfed it, and then a few months later, they added a character into the game that kind of allows you to take Battle Laughs close to similar spot. Like, it's not gonna be as busted as it was previously, but it's going to kind of bring him back in that ballpark of one-shotting stuff with Beta Club. I'm like, why? Doesn't make sense from a balance standpoint, because you don't care about the balance in this game, because we get stuff like Raven, Kimfly, and Sakoman with Beta Club that deals tons of dot damage. At the same time, it's not a good business decision for you, because you might have sold far more artifact offers with people trying to get Beta Club. If that works on Battle Laughs as well, then you're going to sell Injustice Mobile passes, and she will eventually be a gold character that's available to everybody. It's just dumb, and it doesn't make sense. Why? Who had this decision? Who made this decision? Who has the mental disability to think that was a good idea? But yeah, all that being said, that was kind of everything I had to say for this video. She's a good character that needs fixing in terms of gameplay. Is she unusable right now because of that passive? Not really. Is she frustrating to use because of that passive? Yes. Should you go out of your way to get her? No. Should you eventually get her? Yes. That was all I have to say for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.